Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another 42 Level 1. I am one of your hosts, the King of PlayStation, and
Nope,
here with
nope,
me, as
nope, nope.
always,
No liar! He's a
the
liar!
former Twilight Princess of all games, the current Twilight Princess of YouTube, the Uncharted 3 and Sonic Liar and Denier, the former King of PlayStation, Mr. Andy Arkin.
Mr. Andy here as always. It's not fair that I don't have control over these like little things that run down here.
But the truth,
No lies, lies, and slander, slander,
no.
defamation live on air. That's what it is.
So
Defamation.
yes, we had our end of year feedback things. It's weird that Xbox don't do one.
I think they do, but remember that they did one. It was for
I
the
don't think
20th
so.
anniversary of Xbox or something like last year.
I don't remember Xbox ever doing them. Like PlayStation's always done one since like the PS4, and
It,
Nintendo's kind of done them since the Switch.
Xbox did one where it was for the 20th anniversary, and you could go around and like you were like with your avatar, and you could run around it and stuff.
Oh yeah, they did that.
That
But that
was
was a
really cool.
special thing. It was
Yeah,
really cool.
we could do that again though. Just
But
for like
yes, so we got those through, and I earned more trophies than Andy this year, like 60 more trophies than Andy this year. Doesn't
bronze,
matter what value.
bronze
Doesn't
trophies,
listen. Doesn't
bronze
matter.
trophies.
Doesn't matter what value these trophies are. I earned the most. I got the most. The most wins went to me. I am the current king of PlayStation on this show. Says right there. Look, you can't argue with the ticker, Andy. Ali, king of Play. It doesn't say Andy, king of
The
PlayStation,
only
does
reason
it?
I can't argue with
Ali.
it is because you control it. I have no control
No,
over the
I
ticker of
didn't even write
people.
that.
So
That was already there when I set the show up. So, King, thank you. Like I said, it's not just Charles that got announced king this year. I did as well.
there's a
I will be
caveat. There's
having
a
a royal.
caveat though. There's a
There's no
caveat.
caveat. No, you
Yes,
can't use
because
words
you
like that,
you earned
peasant. I am
you
the king.
you earned more bronze
I
trophies than
am.
me. I
That's
earned
not. That's
more
not. Doesn't
more
matter. I
silver,
am.
more gold, and more
Yep.
platinum.
But I earned the most trophies, so it doesn't matter what color you're. Listen,
Worthless trophies,
I
worthless
don't see.
peasant
I don't
trophies.
see color. I
I
don't see
earned
color.
king trophies here.
No.
King
You didn't
trophies.
earn enough. You didn't earn enough. You didn't earn enough. And I was barely
Four-
on PlayStation this year.
42 gold trophies here.
Yeah, it's
How,
not
how
enough.
many
It's not enough
how
though.
many how many
Doesn't
gold trophies
doesn't
did
I
you earn,
earned
Ali? Like
60 more trophies than
six?
you. 60 more trophies than you.
60
That's a
more
lot.
bronze. In fact, not even 60
Doesn't
more bronze.
matter. Doesn't matter.
Baby
60
bronze.
more trophies. 60 more trophies, and it gave me the king of all PlayStation. Andy's no longer on any throne for Sony. He's no longer the Sony guy of this show. I don't know what he's listening to. The crowd's all cheering for me, probably out the window.
The crowds are actually booing you.
Nah, they're like, well done. Finally, the pretender is off the throne.
No, they were just shouting "King, cunt, King, cunt."
They won. They all love me. They know who the true king is. The true king is here, and he's here to stay. Maybe next year, Andy, you'll do better than me. You can only try. You can only try. Maybe if you hadn't spent 60 hours on a boss that took me 10 minutes, you'd have got there.
Yeah, I completed that
Yes.
game. I had a great time.
King of PlayStation. But yes, anyway, before we get into anything, let's talk about the Great Train Robbery itself. The Game Awards, Andy, happened obviously this
Yeah.
week. Do we want to talk about announcements, or do we want to talk about robberies first of all?
Let's talk about robberies.
Robberies. So, Genshin Impact
Mhm.
was released in 2019. It shouldn't have even had a place in the 2022 Game Awards. Sonic Frontiers, which got denied in every other category for no reason whatsoever, it had a much better soundtrack than, I believe, God of War won Best Soundtrack.
I think you're right.
Why? It's suitable atmosphere music, but why? See in a year's time, you're not going to be humming along to Kratos' theme randomly, are you? No.
Nope.
Sonic Frontiers is currently storming the charts. We could have a Sonic Christmas #1, Andy, because the songs are that good in this. I think you will agree with me when you play it, and you will say, this is almost as good as Can You Feel the Sunshine?
Oh, that's a bold statement.
Bold
Can You Feel
statement.
the Sunshine is like,
And it wasn't even in the music category. And it got robbed by a 2019 game a gambling game at that. Don't gamble. It's not good.
Yeah, I don't really get why Genshin was in there on that category at all.
So
Best ongoing game, fair, no problem.
possibly.
But
Is it
that
though?
it can
Final
no,
Fantasy 14 says hello.
well, I get that, but like Genshin can be in that category, no issue, no problem with that. Like if it wants to be there, that's fine.
Yeah, but fans game of the year.
Yeah, I don't think that should count because it didn't come out.
Let's just put Breath of the Wild in there. Why not?
Yeah, great game. Breath of the Wild is amazing. Better than Genshin. Better than
Yep.
Sonic. Well, I can't speak to Sonic, but
I would say it's better than Sonic. Yeah. I'd say it's better than Sonic. But Sonic was absolutely what a robbery, Andy. Daylight robbery. He was held up at gunpoint, and it wasn't even Dr. Eggman that did it. It was Jeff Keighley and his army of Genshin that took over the Game Awards and voted him out. Like, I just think Sonic deserved a bit more. Like, Sonic's had outstanding. Sonic Origins was iffy, but Sonic 2, the movie was good. Sonic Prime, the first episode's been good. Sonic Frontiers was excellent. And you don't even include him in the Game Awards. And it was out the day before God of War, so you can't even say it was too late to add it in. So, why was Sonic robbed, Andy, in your mind? What do you think Sonic did to Jeff in the past? Could he not beat Marble Zone back in the day? Did he get stuck?
I mean, it's not Jeff that decides the award, right? Like, it is
Well, he's got a big. He's
sure. Like, if
organises
he
it.
throws his weight behind something in private, then people probably go for it. But like I would say that if a Kojima game gets nominated, it's gonna fucking win something like 100% because Jeff loves him. But I think Sonic got robbed in the best adaptation
For the movie, yeah.
Yeah, like the Sonic movie. The Sonic movie was great. Like, it should have
I
won.
think it was great, but I think it was in a tough category because a lot of people did like Arcane Legends, League of Legends is popular, and Cyberpunk was really good, man. Cyberpunk anime, and I don't like anime. Really good.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the trailers for both of them, and I wasn't interested. And I watched the Sonic movie, and I thought it was really good. So I voted
watch
for
the Sonic movie every
I
second
voted
day.
for Sonic in that category.
Yeah, I
It was
voted for
robbed in that
Sonic
regard.
as well once I realised it. I didn't read the whole thing. I was just annoyed at Genshin.
I can't speak to the game obviously because I haven't played the game yet, but I will play it.
Why have you not played this game yet?
Christmas? It's a Christmas game. I checked the audio already. The audio's fine.
Right, so my sound isn't coming through great, but it's because I'm not setting everything up because fingers are still dodgy. So yeah, Christmas is coming up. You need to play Sonic, or you can't vote in the Game of the Year awards. You're not robbing our Game of the Year awards from Sonic getting its rightful place.
I'm going to play Sonic on Christmas night, Ali. Don't you worry.
On Christmas night, no, you can start it. I platinumed it in a week, but then again, I am the king of PlayStation, so.
Yeah, but I'm going to play Sonic Christmas night, so that's my plan.
King of PlayStation.
Yes. And I'm off on the 27th and the 28th, so I'll be playing it then.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. The Game Awards. Do you know what was the worst thing? Fucking Kratos speaking for like 40 minutes as if he'd won a World Peace Award for something, man. Like, say thanks and piss off. Like, it was as if it was his deathbed wish, man. Like, the last time he was ever going to speak at anything. And it's like, are you not going to get any more work ever again? Like, it's an award for speaking.
I think what it is like he's treated it as like an actor getting an award, where it'd be like
even they don't speak for half an hour.
An actor winning the best actor Oscar, that type of thing. Like he's treated it like that.
Everybody else treated it like, thank you, I'm going. That's what you do.
Much, yeah.
Jeff clearly rushed through a lot of things after that because he was like, roll the trailer.
Do you know what the best bit about that first speech was? Like, so like Al Pacino, it was cool seeing him there presenting an award. Like that's massive.
He spoke faster.
Al Pacino spoke faster, yeah. But the cool thing about and the thing I thought was the funniest about Christopher Judge's speech for winning like best actor for God of War was that he was clearly not reading off a script, so he's given like speaking from the heart, whatever, and he went on, and it seemed like he was wrapping up, and then he just started on a tangent and kept.
He even played the music to try and get him off, and he used it to build.
Yes, it was brilliant though. See when he plays the music, and he just started getting, and that's when his speech like came together, and I'm like, yeah, the end bit of this was fucking great. Like if he would just played the music about 10 minutes ago, and like that would have been awesome. But yeah, it was too long a speech. He is really good in God of War, to be fair to him. Like really
good. But I mean, like,
I would
It's
say
just
that
Kratos. It's
I
not
would.
like
Well, I mean, like his performance of Kratos is really, really good. Don't get me wrong. But I would say that the woman from Immortality probably better. They're
yes,
playing on a different role.
100%.
And also, I forget the actress's name, but the lead character from Plague Tale, better acted as well than Kratos. Like Kratos is really
Yeah,
good, but those two are both
Chaos is
better.
fine, but like, it went on for too long.
Most of his lines are.
Boy,
He doesn't really say boy very
move,
much.
Arcreus, move.
Atreus,
Where are we going?
Atreus, yeah, brother.
Don't ask me again.
That's like half of his lines are just in different. Like it's like I
Yeah,
am
no,
Groot, but like in different cadences. He's
absolutely.
really good at it, and it's perfect for the character. But like the acting is better in Immortality and in Plague Tale.
So, there was a few announcements, but there wasn't anything. Do you know the problem with I figured out the Game Awards problem. I figured it out. They blew their load years ago with holy fuck moments when they revealed the Series X. See, like 2017 or 18, I think it was, when they
Yeah.
went, look, here's your first look at the Xbox. They've never managed to get to that point ever again. They haven't. Every year it's just been kind of like, oh, what are they going to show? Fuck all. Fuck all. Fuck all. Like,
I
there's
don't know.
nothing.
There was some cool
There's
stuff here.
nothing.
Sequel
Right.
to
So let's
Valiant
break it.
Hearts. Sequel
Let's
to
let's break.
Valiant Hearts. Like
Well, it's
I'm
a
in for
mobile
that.
game.
Don't
It's
care.
a mobile
I'm
game.
buying it. Don't care.
This is your bias coming through, right? You're biased.
Oh
So,
my god!
like, I didn't like Valiant Hearts. This was Ubisoft's World War 2D game.
Amazing fucking game. There's a monster in your face.
Yeah, they had that. They had the one good game that stood out to me, and then it was first person. Was the one? What was it called? It wasn't Cops and Robbers. Can you look up the name of it? The one with Michael Madsen.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
What a cast!
Yeah, that game looks good.
Looks like GTA, but it had like Michael Madsen in it. I'm sure it had Mickey Rourke.
I don't know if it was Mickey Rourke. Crime Boss Rocky City, it was called.
Search for cast and tell me Mickey Rourke's in it. Is it not Mickey Rourke? Who was the guy in Guardians?
Michael Rooker.
Michael Rooker, that's who I'm thinking of. Similar name. Give me a break.
Kind of, totally different person.
Yeah, 100% different person. So they had them two. Who else was in it?
There's Kim Basinger's in it.
Mhm.
You've got Chuck Norris is fucking in it. Vanilla Ice. Like,
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
yeah.
Yeah, but they had more than that. There was more. Read more of the cast. There was more cast than that.
Damien Poitier.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. Yep, from Lethal Weapon.
Michael Rooker, obviously.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice. Chuck
Michael
Norris.
Madsen. Like, it looks so cool. Like, and it came out of nowhere.
That's all announced. Yeah, I did never heard of this before. I don't think it was announced before.
No.
And that's a cracking cast, and it looks like a GTA style game, but it's going to be like first person. It could be first and third person, maybe.
It could be, but it only showed us first person gameplay of like a shooting in a nightclub. It reminded me very much of Miami Vice, but it said it was set in the 90s. So I'm all in for this one, man. That's a definite. I'm interested. It'd be cool if you could co-op. Like, that's my thing. Like, Seekers enjoy Gotham Knights. I'm like, what can we co-op next? What can we play through next? And it's like, I need good co-op experiences. And obviously, Suicide Squad, we've seen some more of. Well, we didn't really see any more of that. We still don't know what the actual gameplay looks like. But
just another
the trailer,
PG trailer, yeah.
Yeah, but the trailer had a different atmosphere because the first trailer felt very Sunset Overdrive.
Yep.
And it didn't feel right. And this one was kind of more doom and gloom. And they killed Flash, and then Batman appeared. And turns out I didn't even know Kevin Conroy was coming back for this one, but it's his final. And that means it makes it even more special as it's his last Batman appearance, his Suicide Squad, because it's coming this year. Well, next year, sorry, but I think this is going to be October next year. I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think it'll be later in the year, yeah.
October next year, but we'll definitely co-op that one, man. That's one we'll play.
I didn't even realise it was co-op, honestly.
Yeah. Co-op. But at first, so I thought it was just going to be like a battle arena kind of shooter. That's what it kind of. But yeah, it's a co-op game now, and as much as like the Suicide Squad, they've missed the flash in the pan for Suicide Squad popularity. Like, I'll still play it because this is a continuation of the Arkham games, and I want to see what happens. And I'm disappointed with the cast. We've got Deadshot, Boomerang, Shark, and Harley. It's like I really hope what they do is they open it up and go also play as and they've got like more cast. But if they don't, they don't. Um, it'll be interesting to see what it is because Kill the Justice League isn't that easy when you're playing as basically a psychotic clown with no powers, a guy with a boomerang with no powers, a guy that can shoot really well, and a dumb human
The
shark.
yeah.
Like, and you're fighting Green Lantern, Flash,
Yeah.
Superman, Batman. Something's going to have to happen in your favor. So,
Or they're gonna have to depower them massively, like.
yeah, Amanda Waller will give them some device that depowers that takes a power down or something. I don't know. But anyway, that gets shown. What else did we see, Andy? What else did we see? We seen Idris Elba is coming. Idris Elba, Knuckles himself, is coming to Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
That looked pretty cool, and that's the next gen only DLC. But I've still not finished Cyberpunk. I tried to play it, but tomorrow is the big game for you, Andy. Witcher, finally is your time. It's took so long. Andy's been patient, man. I didn't have the patience. We got this game ages ago. I finished it. I even tried to hold off and I finished one of the DLCs. I've only got one DLC, well, half of a DLC left now. And the new Witcher Next Generation edition's out tomorrow morning. Well, tonight at 12, whatever. Can't wait for it, man. It looks so good.
It's on my list of games for next year.
Should be. But you're not nervous about the challenges for next year?
No.
Nah, because you don't know what's coming your way, man. You don't know. You don't know. So
I can beat 42 games.
No one says you're not even at 24 yet, and you've got like 2 weeks.
I've got one left to do. Like, it's fine. I'm not
I mean,
concerned.
I got to 28 at the start of November.
It's fine. Like, the challenge is to beat 24 games. Like, I'm going to do it. It's fine. No issue.
Reviews. Let's see what get revealed. So, a weird Dead Cells Castlevania crossover.
See, I like the idea of that. That's kind of cool.
Bayonetta Origins was a strange one. Bayonetta Origins.
I want to play Bayonetta 3, sure, but I don't like the look of that. That looks.
I'll play it because I like Bayonetta, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all.
Bayonetta before she was Bayonetta, so she doesn't have like feet guns and shit.
Stop. No, she has Bayonetta. Just
oh yeah, but she doesn't have feet guns.
We had Fire Emblem season pass announcements.
Nope, don't care.
A Hellboy game that I've no
game. Oh, did you not see the trailer for that?
It's a roguelike.
But
so I was already out.
It looks good though. The graphics were amazing.
The graphics look like Mad World on the Wii. They weren't that good.
I didn't play that, but the graphic style is fucking cool as hell. It looks exactly like the comic book.
I don't like the comic books. I didn't like the films that much. I don't think he's that cool of a character. I'm not interested because it's what I would be interested if it wasn't a roguelike because it's another superhero game. It's a roguelike game. I'm not playing it. I can't play them. They're not good games. They're not. I don't care. You just don't understand them. I do. They're awful. Progression. Right. So we had Among Us hide and seek mode. Street Fighter 6 release date, which is June, I think it was.
Something like that, yeah. I don't care.
Hades 2, but that's not for us. Hades 2 wasn't really our sort of thing. Here's one that I
didn't try Hades, to be fair. Did you try Hades?
It's a roguelike. It can get out. So the next game is one that I am interested in, and it looked like Bioshock 4, but it's called Judas. So I'm buying it.
100%. Yep, looks good.
It's from Ken Levine. It's from Bioshock creator Ken Levine. It looks like Bioshock, and I'm like,
I really like the style of that game as well. Like, it looks like Bioshock.
Do you know what wouldn't shock?
In a completely different world.
Mate, do you know what wouldn't shock me? See if they revealed that further down the line, because that could be 2024. And out of the dark, in that trailer, it came up and it just said Bioshock Judas. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Would not shock me. Because we didn't see a lot of it. It looked very Bioshocky, so I'm in.
But there's supposed to be Bioshock 4 as well, though.
No, but that's what I mean. This could be Bioshock 4. They're just calling it Judas. Right. I think
it's not made by 2K though.
Is it not?
No, this is Ken Levine's like own new studio. This is the thing that he went like solo and has been making this game for however many years.
Still could be Bioshock. Anyway,
be.
there's a new Celeste game. Didn't like Celeste.
Celeste was okay.
Earthblade. Did you have any interest in Earthblade?
No, I mean it actually looks less good than Celeste because it looks just like a normal platformer now with like generic enemies and shit in it. Whereas Celeste didn't really have that. Like you had to avoid enemies. You didn't really have a way to kill them per se. Like Celeste was fun. It was really hard, but it was fun.
Surprising no one. We got Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Like I'll definitely get that day one.
Death Stranding 2 post harder.
Interestingly, they didn't show a single bit of Postman delivery.
Do you know that because it's Kojima, this could be a completely different genre? This
I think
could
it will
be
be.
completely
Yeah,
different.
I think it will be a completely different game, which is even more exciting because I like the game, I like the story, I like the world. I didn't particularly like the Postman delivery bits, but like the rest of the game was really cool.
Yeah, so
So
this
if
could
they
be
take
something
away
else.
those and they make like an even better game, like I'm fucking 100% in for
I
that.
still think, see, because of the age of Sam Bridges, which is played by Norman Reedus in it, because he's older, I think the girl in it is the baby from the first game that he was protecting, grown up.
It's not. That's a character from the first game.
No, it doesn't look like her. You said it was Pain. No, not Pain.
What's her name? I forget her name. Like
Yeah, but it's not. I think
it's her.
I think it's the baby. I think it's the baby. So anyway, we had Tekken 8 gameplay. It looked as good as I expected. I know you're not interested in
Yeah,
it, but
that was good.
it looked
Really
looked.
good.
Do you know this crazy thing is Street Fighter has won in fighting games for how many years now? This is the first time in years that I've went. Tekken looks like it's going to like annihilate it. Like it
Tekken looks way
genuinely
better.
looks
Yeah, Street Fighter
so
looks
good.
crap. Street Fighter looks
Street
terrible.
Fighter, it looks like it's taken a step back. Like it's like we get it's that 2.5D and it works, but the fact that they've added in the creator characters that their models stand out and don't look as good as the main guys, and it's like, and I made a prediction to you, and I'll say it again in the show. Capcom are stupid, and what they're going to do is they're going to add those creator characters online, and people are going to. There's going to be an outcry that it's broken because there's going to be people customizing these characters and making them godlike and unfair. And like, how can you counter against something that you don't know what moveset it's got? Because
Yep.
you can. So
You could give it any
the-
moveset, I suppose, yeah.
yeah, they're going to mess this up. I've just got this bad feeling about it. What they should have done, I agree with the My City, My Style mode from NBA. That's cool. Just let me play it as Ryu or Ken or someone. Like, I don't want to create a Street Fighter character. Like, Capcom can't make good looking Street Fighter characters anymore. Look at the new ones. Like, they want
New
us
ones
to
are
make them.
terrible, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Like
I mean.
I
So,
didn't like see the new characters that they showed off for Street Fighter. I was like, none of these look good at
didn't
all.
suit.
These could easily all be just created characters that people have made.
Why do you need to add so many characters? Tekken adds like one new character every now and then. And people are fine. Like Tekken 8 looks so good in that new Unreal Engine, man. Like it looks absolutely phenomenal. But anyway, Diablo 4 release date. I've not got a lot of interest in Diablo. I tried to get into it with Diablo 3 on the Switch. Like Michael tried to get me into it, said it was really good when I worked at CX. I bought it. I was like, this is not a game for me. It's like I look like the graphics are not for me. I'm not a graphics guy. It doesn't have to look good, but it looks like Command and Conquer, and I collect loot.
So I liked Diablo 1 and 2 on the PC back in the day, and those
Yeah.
those games look great back then, but they've not really advanced on too much since that.
No,
It's
they haven't.
same style of gameplay, like okay, the graphics are a bit shinier or whatever, like high
It's still
resolution,
top
but
down.
it's still the same, like the same fucking game. So yeah, I'm not that interested. I'll try it when it comes to Game Pass, as it inevitably will with the Activision deal.
Yeah. We had another Mario Brothers clip. I'm already in that movie. It looks good. Crash Team Rumble was the biggest waste I've seen them put that license through since they done the party game years ago on the Xbox. What's the point? Like they made a big deal about Crash, and they made a guy come down on a bungee rope as Crash Bandicoot and come on stage to introduce an arena-based Crash fighter. Like, no offense, right? But Sonic struggles to pull off a Sonic-based racing game. Crash has got less likable characters than Sonic.
I mean,
Like,
Crash Team Racing they did okay with, but
it did okay.
It was a remake of an old game
Yeah,
which people had a good bit of nostalgia for. So
But this is like a beat 'em up.
This one though, I think this is going to be free to play. And the one thing that makes me think that this might be okay is, do you remember on the PS2 there was a Turtles sort of brawling game?
Yeah,
With
TMNT.
the TMNT game, like where you had to fight off. You were standing on a rooftop and you had to fight against each other, and sometimes there would be
Yeah,
you would have levels where you'd fight enemies. If it's like that, it might be okay.
I doubt it. So anyway, next
I
up
doubt it
we
as well,
have
but this will be free to play game though, like, and it'll be on everything. So this is why they're doing it, just to keep the Crash license going. And next year
that's
you'll get
the
Crash 4
that's your reason that they've brought this out is because Crash 4 wasn't ready and they have to have a game
or
out every so often.
Crash 5. Sorry, Crash 5.
Aye, they'll have to have a game out every so often to keep the license. It's a bit like movies, so they'll just churn a game out with a name just to keep the license.
I don't think it's like in terms of keeping the license. I think it's just about keeping the license relevant so that people know who Crash is, like so that kids are coming
No
through.
one's forget.
Like, oh, Crash.
No one's forgetting Crash. But anyway, Armored Core 20 or whatever
Yeah.
got announced.
So it's Armored Core 6. I can't remember what it's the subtitle, it's some weird subtitle. But this is interesting to me because I like mechs, right? Like my Warhammer 40k army is mech guys basically. So like I like mechs and I like From Software.
So here's my question to you: Why did you not play? Why did you not play 5?
I mean, I'd never really heard of Armored Core before, to be
Everybody had. Yeah,
fair. No,
you
like,
knew Armored Core was. You just didn't care.
I
But
didn't
now
care.
because you like the Elden Ring, you're like every
Yes.
game they do must be good.
Yes.
No, this is a sim mech. This is like flight simulator in a mech. It's not fun. If you want fun in a mech, download Titanfall 2 again, Andy.
Titanfall 2 is a great game. Absolutely great.
It's a great game. That's why I'm telling you, download that and play it instead of doing this. This is stupid. You'll not like this game. I know you won't like it.
I wonder how much the Armored Core 5 is.
The Armored Core.
Core.
Probably dear. I would say it's still.
Armored Core 5 was on the Xbox 360, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
It might be on Game. It might be on Game Pass.
I doubt it's on Game Pass. I wonder if it's back compat. Probably not. I can't believe it's from Software. Like I never knew that these From Software made these.
Yeah, I mean, not for me. Like, I don't like Flight Simulator either. I don't think you'll like these either.
I'm gonna watch a YouTube video and then decide if I'm gonna buy this or not. Like a YouTube video of 5.
Finally, I want to talk about Final Fantasy 16, Andy, because that was the highlight of my Game Awards this year. That's just an incredible looking game, man. And if it stays on track, then it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, they've released the collector's editions for it. They're stupid priced, and all you get is a statue and some pin badges. Both cool, but for 300, 320? No. Like, I remember getting Black Flag with the big ship with Ezio on it. Not Ezio, Edward. It only was like 150. Like, I say only, but 150, like, because these statues are never like high quality, and I don't think this is going to be.
They're always resin cast, like so they look fine, but like when they're sitting up on your shelf, like I've got this Mirror's Edge one back here, and like it looks fine far away, but like if you look in close to it, like the detail on it's not that great, you know, like.
Nah, and I mean, it's far too dear. But what did you think about Final Fantasy 16? I think this is the first 18 rated or M rated in America, like Final Fantasy game. I'm fine with that. I think. A lot of people have mentioned that they've been influenced maybe by Game of Thrones, The Witcher, Skyrim, Western audiences, like with that sort of thing. I think they were heading in that direction anyway, because I mean, you had Final Fantasy 15 that was a lot more, like, it was adult, well, not so adult, but it was darker certainly than like Final Fantasy.
It was still a bit light. See, with the buddy driving the car and the cooking and all that shit. There was a bit of
I've discovered a new recipe.
Yeah, just silliness. And like 15 was all right. I didn't like it that much. Bits of it were good. 15. Bits of it were like, but this looks fucking great. Like I can't wait to play this.
But you said the same about 15 before you played it. To be fair, to 15.
Yeah,
you were all in hype from 15 as well.
Yeah, and
you didn't like it because you get stuck.
Good. Well, there was that.
That was a good night. That
was
movie.
A good night, yeah. I didn't like the characters in 15 that much though. Like Noctis was a bit.
You know, I liked it. I still want to play the DLC. I actually played Final Fantasy 15 tonight. Well,
I liked it. What was the big guy's name? I liked him.
Gladiolus.
Gladio, yeah, liked him.
Laniers. And then you had, I can't remember all the names. I have come up
There
with a
was
new
Ignis.
recipe.
I think his name was Ignis.
Ignis was him, yeah. And then Prompto was the wee guy.
Prompto. Yeah, I didn't like Prompto.
Yeah.
Ignis was okay, and I didn't like Noctis.
Noct.
Really.
Oh, Noct's cool, man. Like I
I like
played a bit
his
tonight
misses. His misses was kind of cool.
because obviously I can't grip controllers, but with Final Fantasy, a lot of it's walking forwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I should have tried 13 because it's corridor, but I'm out the corridor in 13 because I really need to knuckle down and finish some more Final Fantasy this year. And obviously, I'll finish
Me
16.
too.
I don't know, it'll maybe take Andy about 3 years to get through 16, like he did with 15, but because
I
we've
don't
got
know. Like in the last couple of years,
World Tour this year as well.
yeah, I mean, in the last couple of years, I've been better about getting a game and like going for it and mainlining it.
Stop.
Like I've done it this year with many games. I'm going to play this game, I'm going to finish this game, and
Nothing Final Fantasy size though, really.
I
Not
mean,
even Elden Ring.
Elden Ring is bigger than
Elden Ring was more your capability than length of play. Like honestly, like, and I'm not saying I was much better at it. I didn't really. Well, yeah, I was better at it from what I put into it, but I just didn't enjoy the game. Margaret you beat in the second attempt. You can King of Elden Ring. That's fine. I don't enjoy those games. But like Final Fantasy can take up was 200 hours if you're into it. Like look at 7, man. Like, I have hundreds of hours in that, so I know you do as well. The one that did put me off while we're on Final Fantasy is Crisis Core hasn't added anything. They've just kind of made the models look more like the remake so that story can fit in with the new ones, which is fine if you've never played it, but I've finished this game several times. So one of the reasons I still own a PSP is to play it. And it doesn't look bad on PSP on handheld. And I just don't have a desire to play an unchanged story. See if they'd swapped up some elements or added in new stories or missions to tie it into the new one.
I don't mind though that they haven't changed this at all, right? But I'm totally on board with them just remastering it because no one's fucking played this game, and it's fucking great.
You say no, and there's a generation of people that haven't played it because a lot of our generation that had PSPs have played this game.
I know so many people that like had a PSP.
You back a lot younger folk.
Yeah, but they had PSPs and they never played this.
They weren't old enough to play
it. This game is fucking great. If you've never played it before, buy it.
I agree with you, but see for me, it's probably the best PSP game.
Yes,
like that's my favorite in the catalog.
Yeah,
and I have finished this through 3-4 times, and it's like I don't want to drop. See, when it comes to a sale, I do want to play it again because I do like the game.
Yeah.
I'll buy it in sale because it's £50, which isn't bad for it. It's a really good price, but I was kind of hoping for some more, like extra story, not even higher difficulty, just more story to tie it in with the new games. That I suppose the storyline of it does fit right up to Final Fantasy VII Remake. You don't need to change anything about that part.
No.
They've changed more about.
They might need to, if you finish Final Fantasy VII Remake,
I haven't yet.
They do need to change something about that game.
Well, if they do, maybe they will change it. Maybe they won't. But like, they'll have to because this is
It's a different universe, and like there's some weirdy stuff going on in Remake.
I just can't. It doesn't. I don't.
I loved Remake, man. I thought it was great.
I know you liked it, and I wanted to like it so badly. It's the game that I wanted since I've seen Advent Children, and I've got Advent Children on Blu-ray, on DVD, and on 4K up the stairs, and I've got like every copy of Final Fantasy. I've played it on the PC. I've got it on my PSP. I've got it on every console in this house that it can run it, and I wanted to like the remake a lot more, but we had this discussion last week. Was it last week when we talked about The Last of Us Part 1?
Can't remember.
No, it was maybe off the show. So when you get something like The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Part 1 that is a full remake because they take the original, they take the original game and they remake it and they make a whole new thing with it. And then you get Final Fantasy VII and it's like, I don't even know if the word remake fits it because it's more like inspired by the events of Final Fantasy VII than anything. And I haven't even finished it.
That's why I'm glad they've changed. They've gone with the different titles for the next ones.
So what's the next one? Reunion or Rebirth?
Yeah. Or is it? In fact, no. Is one of? Wait, I'm confused now. What is there? Is there not both actually? Reunion and Rebirth.
There might be actually.
I can't remember.
Because they're doing some separate games as well. There was like a beta for something starting next year.
That's Ever Crisis, which is the retelling of the Final Fantasy VII like anthology, basically, but on mobile.
A different retelling.
But it's the same. It's the exact same story as Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy
original
7, Crisis Core, and like before Crisis, all these,
and
Dungeon
Advent Children.
Servers, Advent Children, all that stuff, all that's going to
Yeah.
be in it. But it's mobile, and it's like the Final Fantasy 15 like Pocket Edition.
Yeah.
It's those graphics.
But that's not bad. Like the
Yeah,
Pocket
it looks
Edition was.
cool. Yeah.
Do you know what? That was a genius way for them doing it.
Yep.
Like Final Fantasy 15's come to the Switch, and I was like, how? And then they showed us the Pocket Edition.
Yep.
It's the fucking game. It
Yep.
covers the story, and it's like, okay, I've got Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch. I've never finished that version of it, but it does its job, man, and I think that's great. And I miss the days when like this is a problem that came up with like Pokemon just was rushed. Let's be honest. The Switch is fine. See all these people saying we need a new Switch now. We don't. It would be nice, but I'm pretty sure, see when you see Breath of the Wild 2 or Tears of the Kingdom, it's going to look spectacular because Breath of the Wild looked good and it was a Wii U port. This is the first fully developed for Switch mainline Zelda title, not including Link's Awakening, obviously. But like, do you remember back in the day when like Call of Duty would come to the Wii and it would be its own version and it would run absolutely fine? It would maybe have a different story.
Yeah.
Like, I miss those days, like the days before season passes, battle passes, and fucking give us your money rather than enjoy the game happened. Like, those days were brilliant. Like, yeah, sure, folk moaned about DLC because this was the days after unlocking characters and stuff. This was into the, you have to pay for things now. Oh, we've got some comments here. Hello, host. I'm watching from the Philippines. Hi, GR Vlog, or Vlog. Hi, GR. Thanks for watching from the Philippines. How is the Philippines? I've never been to the Philippines. So sorry, I didn't see those comments that were there. So yeah, like I can't even remember my train of thought, but like, yeah, I miss the days when like Switch would get its own version. Like, why can't it get its own version of stuff? Because then the developers just put a second team on it. Times have changed in games development, and not always for the best.
So Crisis Core is Reunion. It's called Reunion, not Remake. Reunion. Yeah, and Final Fantasy VII Remake 2 is called Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Right.
Which makes
when is
sense.
it due? Is it not?
They haven't given a date for that yet, or showed off a trailer or anything like that.
I don't think it can be next. It won't be next year now because 16's middle of the year, so they're not going to release it. next year.
No way. The year after, probably 2024. It's PS5 exclusive, but I think that what they'll do, like the thing with that is there is a sort of trailer there. If you finish Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate DLC, like the Yuffie DLC, if you finish that, there's a sort of trailer at the end of that.
See, that was the other thing with Final Fantasy 16 because of all the PlayStation kicking the muck up in there going, Microsoft aren't being fair. They're not being fair to consumers. Final Fantasy 16 exclusive to PlayStation 5. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth exclusive to PlayStation 5. It's like, sure. Okay, because I didn't expect Final Fantasy. I would have bought it on PlayStation anyway, but I didn't expect 16 to be a full-blown exclusive, which we now know it is.
Yeah.
Like, how Sony don't have a leg to stand on with that. They're just fucking throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. 16 is going to be amazing though. Like, and see the fact they've been able to develop it just for one sole platform as well means they can get the most out of it. Means the haptics are going to be beasting in it. Because I had a hassle. I'm not going to talk about Final Fantasy 14 today because it's an absolute joke trying to get signed up for that. But like,
it's always been a joke trying to sign up to that.
No, it has. Yeah. But like, they've added haptics to it. Like, so it feels really cool, man. The game looks good. The game's always looked good, even since the PS3. But this Endwalker that's out, I haven't got it. That's the last expansion pass for this story. And then they're doing a soft reboot with the next one, and which is a good idea because then that's getting new people on board that haven't played it up to this point. But I mean, the one thing I love about 14 is, see when you jump into Warcraft, if you've not played it, like half the world's destroyed, or like there's an enemy stomping about. It's like, where the fuck's he came from? Oh, well, that's the latest expansion. But I haven't played the first two. Well, that's what the world looks like. Whereas Final Fantasy 14 is not like that at all. It's like the same for everybody. It doesn't like eat half the world, and it's like you get to see the world as you like. The point is where you play it.
Yeah.
So I prefer that because it's more welcoming. Same for the Old Republic, but I still think Final Fantasy 14 at this point in its life needs to have a free tier for people to just play. Slow down the leveling. Let me just play for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, they do free trials and stuff like that, but even that is annoying to get into. Like, if you...
Well, here's the problem with Final Fantasy 14.
Jump through all the fucking hoops and shit, yeah.
What you have to do is you have to, first of all, remember your Square login. right? And it's character specific, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to remember your MOG station sign in, which is a completely different thing. And sometimes it will ask you for your one-time passcode, which then you might need to reset by sending it to your email address and whatever. And then once you've done that, then it asks you to, okay, so you're going to need to attach a card. Fine, I'll do that. So I attached my bank card, which I use for everything, and tried it. Error. I contacted them. Try another browser. Okay, try another browser. Error. Try another device. Tried my PC. Error. Try your phone. Okay, so I've tried my phone, my tablet, laptop. Okay, try Internet Explorer. I was like, okay, I don't have a time machine, but I'll try Microsoft Edge. Same error. So I tried Edge, Safari, Firefox, and Chrome. I don't use any other browsers. I'm not about to. I had to download Edge to use it. And I tried these across 3 devices. So instead of admitting the problem on their side, they said, use another bank account. I'm like, I don't have one. So they then said, if you don't have another bank account, basically you can't play. So I'm like, so you're telling me for the game that I purchased, I need to open another bank account? They said, no, we're not saying that. I'm like, exactly what you've just said is try another bank account. I've told you I've not got one, and you said we can't help you further. So you're saying open another bank account and try that, which is ridiculous when I've already paid 40 odd quid for the game and more for the expansions. So eventually, without them suggesting, I went on Reddit and they said, yep, they're a hassle. Everybody knows it's a hassle. Just buy time cards. You can get them. So I bought a time card off the Square shop using my card that they said wasn't working or didn't work with their systems, using the exact same MasterCard, bought the 60 days and redeemed it on my account. So that's how I'm going to have to do it. So then I messaged them and said, perhaps if you want to retain customers in the future, you would maybe look into alternatives for me being able to sign up for your services. Perhaps recommending a game time card would be an idea. And like they went backwards and forwards, and like I just said, look, listen, it needs to be a lot more user friendly to sign up for this. I should be able to load up my game and go on the PlayStation. Do you want to buy a month? Yes. That's what I need. I don't want to sign into fucking 3 different systems and then you're telling me that you won't take my card. But what they've done is they send £1 backwards and forwards.
I've seen that. Yeah. You showed me the picture of like all
I've
these
got like £10 to Square that I need to wait 3 days now to be refunded because my bank's approved it, but something's happened with Square. So they blame my bank first of all. It's not my bank. They then blamed my browsers. So Safari's bad, Chrome's bad, Firefox is bad, and Microsoft Edge. None of them work. None of them. It's all their fault. It's not their website. They wouldn't admit it was a problem on their side. But the worst thing was the fact was their customer support was, oh well, there's nothing we can do for you. And I'm like, but I've just went and read it, and I can use it. Why did you not say if your bank card's not working and you want to play just now, there's game time cards available? Why would you not offer that?
Yeah,
that's crazy. The amount of people that would have given up
money.
Yeah, the amount of people that would have given up before me. Like, I really wanted to play Final Fantasy 14. I was getting annoyed with their customer service, but the game's good. I do enjoy playing the game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
But it came to the point almost where I was like, I'm not getting any options here. Like, you're saying use another bank account, and I have 1 bank account. Why would I have a second bank account? What for? So it's like, they can't help me. That's what they said. And then when I told them that, I was like, you know what? Fuck off. They never answered me back though, but I was like, neither your systems or your customer service are user friendly, and they said we apologise for your feelings on our customer service. And I'm like, but then I answered back. I was like, well, if you want to retain customers, why don't you suggest them to use a time card, or maybe look into the fucking problem and fix it? Because my bank's fine.
Yeah.
Like, my bank is approving these transactions.
Do you know what my prediction is? You don't see that £10 back this year. That's my prediction. You get it back next year.
It'll be next year at some point. Yeah, but it's unreal. It's like, but you're blaming my bank, and I've seen my bank has approved the transaction because I had to go on my app and approve it, and it's went through in my bank.
Yep.
And then it's coming back. Your site's giving me the error. That's your browser. Okay, I'll use another browser. It's a device. Okay, I've used another device. Don't know what to tell you. Get another bank account. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous customer retention skills. It really is. And it might have just been because of time I've spent in customer service, and not that I enjoyed it, but that's not how you keep a customer. Like, they should have said, we'll look into it and try and sort something out for you. In the meantime, why not try a game time card? We know it's not optimal, but it's another option. I'd have went, great, where'd I buy them? Oh, on our website. Great. There you go, Square.
As usual, though, Reddit solves your customer service query.
Reddit solved it. But yeah, anyway, like, Final Fantasy 14's always been. I was surprised that I get past the first two hurdles quite quickly, and I was like, "Something's going to stop me here," because usually the Mog Station or Mognet, whatever it's
Oh
called,
yeah,
messes me up.
try to figure out the passwords for an
Oh,
account you last logged into 5 years
I
ago.
was like, yeah, I was like, "Pff," and it was like, "What's your one-time key that we gave you like 10 years ago?"
Yeah, or like
Nah, I don't
or
know.
it's got 2-factor set up to like some old
Yeah,
phone number or some shit. Like,
yeah. Yep. So I managed to get in. I managed to play it, and like, yeah, the
cool.
game does look lovely. It does still play really nice. Dave still plays it now and then, so I'll probably get him at some point. But it just took me so long to get it tonight, and I was so annoyed by the time it logged in. I was just like, I'm not in the mood to play this right now. So I had Final Fantasy 15 there because I always intend to go and do the DLC, and I hadn't. But I'd done one of the because they added so much content to it. Like I finished the game when it was vanilla, before one of the first patches. I finished it before they made level 13 easier.
Yeah.
So now they've got like all these event things that are still in the game, and there was one for like Terra World or something where I had to go and fight a boss with some girl from a crossover game with like little aliens running about, and I'm like, it was pretty cool, but I had no idea what was going on. And the only reason I want to do it is because I fucking finished this game and then I lost all my save stuff, and I'm like, come on. So I do want to play it because they've added more stuff and it is fun. And I've got this kind of Final Fantasy hankering. And then I'm like, am I wasting my time because I've finished this? But I do want to play the DLC. But like, I should really get back into 13 because like, I want to play 13, 2, and 3. Like that lightning's
Yeah.
cool. I love that world. Like
Yep.
I've got the books. I've got the book set in the Final Fantasy 13 universe, and I want to play more of it. And I'm past the corridor stage, so I'm in the good part of the game. I just really should knuckle down and play it. But again, talking about knuckle down, I still can't fucking grip properly with this finger because cut it open. So yeah, I haven't played much this week at all. Like literally nothing. I watched Lexi play a lot of Roblox, and I watched Sonic Prime in Roblox, which was fine. It's a bit like watching something in Fortnite. A 40-minute episode. It was really good. Surprised me. All the voices were good. I kind of like the. It's Sonic with multiverse now. Sonic travelled through to another world where Sonic didn't exist, and Robotnik had won in this episode, and it was really cool to see it. And I really hope in the following episodes we see him going to like Sonic Boom, Sonic Underground, all these older cartoons. Even the movie universe would be cool.
See, when you're watching it in Roblox, right? I always find this
Yeah.
annoying in Fortnite when you're watching anything, right? Like
Mm.
I've only ever watched like they did some concert things on that where they were like 5-10 minute sort of experiences. I watched a couple of them, and I always found it annoying that you're standing like in the game, like looking up at a big screen, and like there's fucking people just like running around and like dancing and doing moves and like all that sort of shit. Do you find that annoying? Does it happen in this?
So if you stand in the like area to watch it, because obviously they've got like big knuckles and stuff and a campsite and things around,
Yep.
like to make it look like a cinema. If you walk right in front of the screen, it zooms it up so it's full screen. You don't see anybody jumping.
Okay, cool.
If you decide
That's
to
cool.
sit in one of the like beach towels or something, yeah, you'll get somebody jumping because there's idiots everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you walk like nose to nose right up to the screen, it kind
Yeah.
of puts it full screen almost.
Okay,
So
that's
it was
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was surprised that the first episode was 40 minutes. It was almost like a movie, and there's 24 episodes in this first season. So I've got a feeling Netflix will split that in two. So you're only
Yeah,
going to get the first. It's out like
Thursday.
what,
It comes out.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to get like the first 12, and then they'll release the other 12 after Christmas.
I only know it's Thursday because I went to watch it last night. I'm like, because it came up in advert, and I'm like, oh, like there's Sonic Prime, let's watch that. I mean, the wee one. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And went to watch it, and it's like, oh, out Thursday. Watch trailer. Like, okay. Don't advertise it till it's fucking out. But I'll watch on Thursday.
Yeah, it was very good. So I haven't watched it much, but I need to go and find a cat just now because Tasha can't find Sasha. So let's talk about what Andy's been playing.
He's lost a cat. Yeah, like all I've really played this week, I've played really two things, which was played some Fortnite. So Fortnite's been updated now to the new like Unreal 5 engine, like fully, and it looks pretty good now. They've changed all of the graphics. They changed the map and stuff like that as well. I would say the gameplay is fine. There's some cool additions, like they've got this cool sort of hammer thing that you sort of whack on the ground and it fires you up in the air and stuff. That's pretty fun. But aside from that, it's the same. With the gameplay loop and everything like that, all of it is the same. Still got the same type of guns. Again, like I say, totally different map, but it doesn't feel that different because there's a lot of the whole kind of there's a snow area and there's a sand area and there's nothing really groundbreaking in any of them. so it's fine. But like, I'm not 100% sold on it. They have Geralt in it now, or coming to it soon, and that'll be strange to see him with a gun, like Geralt with a gun, like run about with a machine gun. That's just weird. They're bringing Mr. Beast to it as well. Like, cool, fine. Like, I don't care about these things at all, so I'm not interested in that. But like, look, it looks good. It looks better. But yeah, what I've kind of sunk most of the time into this week was finishing off God of War Ragnarok. And yeah, this game won a lot of awards, the Game of the Year awards, and it's a good game, sure. Like God of War 2018, good game as well. Enjoyed it. It was God of War 2018 tricky in bits. I definitely got stuck a few times and ended up I got too annoyed with it and had to put the difficulty down when I got to the sort of the elevator fights where it was like a boss rush almost, and that was very dark. It was a very dark fight, and you had to fight a couple of enemies at the same time that were sort of invisible at times and kept coming at you. I didn't like that fight at all. It was horrible. So I put the difficulty down to easy to be able to get through it. This one, I didn't. I decided I wanted to just play it through on normal and persevere with it and get through it. But I had the same kind of issues with it. We were fighting against like one boss was okay, but then later in the game you're fighting against two of the same boss or three at times, things like that. And I just feel like that's not really very. It's not good game design. I feel when like, oh, okay, it's time for a boss fight. Cool. See that boss you fought earlier? Just fight two of them now. Great. So fun. One's a different color. Cool. I already fought this guy. I know how to beat him, but it's fucking me up because there's two of them. I will say that it's difficult to keep track of enemies when it's like that, when there's multiple enemies on screen, especially because there's a lot of enemies and the bosses in this game as well, like that zip about. Like, and Kratos is not particularly fast at turning. He's a slow character, which is fine. But when you're fighting against something that's going like this, whoop, 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 and diving all about the place. When there's one, it's okay. When there's more than one, fuck no, it's annoying as shit. Especially like if you do the lock on to them, even when you do the lock on, like if there's two of them, you're always getting this like because Mimir gives you a sort of audible warning when somebody's behind you. He's like, "Oh, look out behind you, brother," and you're like, "Ah!" And by the time you've turned around, because Kratos turns fucking slow, like the thing behind you has got you. So the only option is to roll out the way, which means that you're interrupting whatever you're doing to the person that's in front of you or the enemy that's in front of you. So you're stopping your attack there and rolling on or dodging out the way or blocking or whatever. So I didn't enjoy the combat that much in this game. Bits of it were fun, but I think they could have. If the fights had been better, I think I'd have enjoyed this game so much more. Like, I ended up just feeling frustrated a lot of the time, and not in the way that I would feel frustrated when I would get beaten in Elden Ring. It was very clear to me in Elden Ring that I just wasn't good enough to beat the boss, or I wasn't high enough level for the most part. Mostly just that I wasn't good enough. But in God of War, I always felt like I was good enough to beat the enemies, but just that there were too many of them doing different attacks at the same time, and I would always end up dying because of that. Also, the healing mechanic in the game is shit. Like, really bad healing mechanic. So there's two ways to heal. One is when you get knocked down, you can buy one resurrection stone. So you buy a resurrection stone and it basically heals you. There's different versions of it. So like you can you get a little bit of health, or you can come back with full health basically. You can come back with full rage basically, which is fine. But you can only carry one of those at a time. And the only way to get more of them is by visiting a shop. And the only like say you can only buy one at a time and have one in inventory. So if you once you've bought one, that's it. You're locked into that one until you use it, until you die, use it, and then come back. And obviously the shops are only in the kind of hub world areas. They're not in the levels. So you might go through like a sort of big long level section, and you come up against a boss, and you'll get to like this much health, and then he'll take you down with some weird attack, and you're like, "Fuck, I can beat this guy. I'll just use that there," and that's fine. So you use it, brings you back. You manage to defeat him. Carry on. Then 10 minutes later, another boss fight gets fucking thrown at you, and you're like, I've used my resurrection stone already. Shit. And then you just have to brute force your way through. So like I found that happening quite a lot. Like I wasn't a massive fan of the upgrade system. It's for the skills and stuff, fine, no issue. But for the actual upgrading the weapons and things, so upgrading your weapons and your armor and all that, I always found that it was a choice every single time. It was either I had enough to upgrade my weapon, or I had enough to upgrade one piece of armor, which was really annoying because I would have rather upgraded more things. And whilst I didn't really do any of the side quests, I did go out of my way to find chests. And the chests look so fucking cool in this game that they were fun to find because it was like a puzzle to find them. So you can see the chest like up there in the distance. You're like, how do I get up there? And you're trying to puzzle your way up to find out where the bit is where you can get up there to it. That was cool, enjoyed doing that. But then every time when you get in the chest, it's like push the chest open and there's like some minor item, whatever it is, and then some silver, some like currency. But you never got very much currency from getting these. So I found it annoying to level up. I think I would have preferred to have more of this currency so I could level up my stuff more. But maybe they give you shitloads for doing the side quests, and maybe that's where I missed out. Don't know. But yeah, overall, the game's good, but it's not amazing. Like if you like God of War 18, it's just more of the same. Like it doesn't. Oh my god! What is looking like? It's so loud. It doesn't do enough new things. I felt from 2018 at all. It's just a continuation of the same stuff, really. And like, yeah, the story's fine, but like it wasn't great. It was fine. It got me through, and like it was enjoyable enough, but not an amazing game. Just good. I did like the puzzle mechanics with like throwing the axe and like using your blades, and you get a spear in the game as well. Using those three things in different ways to solve little puzzles to like open gates and shit like that. Like that stuff was cool. But yeah, just more of the same of God of War 2018. Like, and it doesn't like it looks good, but like it doesn't look next gen amazing.
No, and this is why I kind of played a bit and went, it's fine. I didn't understand everybody giving it 10s out of 10s, 9s out. It's 8 out of 10 at best.
8 out of 10, yeah. 8 out of 10 for sure.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And like,
good game. Like really
I don't know why.
Like 8 out of 10 is really good.
Like, I didn't like the Elden Ring, but people giving it 9 and 10 out of 10, I can see why more than God of War Ragnarok, definitely. Like, God of War Ragnarok's not a bad game, but it's more of the same, and people were rating it as if it was this revolution. It's like, but it doesn't look that different. Even graphics-wise, it doesn't even look that different from the original. Well, 2018. And I know this because I played the game 3 days before it came out on the console, and I swapped backwards, and I was like, it looks just the same. So,
what I will say is the sort of back third of the game is much better than the first 2/3 of it. Like it starts to get going, and you're actually like, okay, this is cool, and you do some different shit, and there's some cool fights in there, like cool different sort of fights. But like the first 2/3 of the game is like it could just have been a giant. It would have been a massive DLC, right? Like, but it just feels like a continuation of like the first game. And I'm sure there'll be more of this, and like I'm hoping, hopefully the next one will be even better still, because they did some things that improved on the first game, but not very much.
I mean, it didn't feel like a pure sequel, like you said. See, the first 3 hours that I played could have been sold as a DLC.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
easily. It was the same area. Like it was unchanged.
Yeah.
In fact, there was less things you could do because the portals were broken. So when you got this, obviously to keep you restricted in the opening area, but they could have sold this as DLC. But they stood by the stance. It stands alone. It's a standalone game, no DLC. Why? Because you're just going to give us it to the DLC for the first 4 or 5 hours of the new game.
Yeah, like, there is way too much snow in this game. Way too much snow.
We're not slating God of War. We're saying it's an 8 out of 10. I think a lot of people went straight to this 10 out of 10. It's not the best game ever. It's not. It's a very good game. But 10 out of 10s? Like, 9 out of 10 maybe for a hardcore fan. But realistically, this game should have evened out about 80%.
Yeah.
What is
would
it
say
in
that's
Metacritic?
completely fair. It's probably 90 plus on Metacritic, I would imagine. But
And I don't think that's a fair score.
no, it's got the
94% on Metacritic. That's insane. That is absolute insanity to me. This at best 85%. At best.
Yeah, I would say it's like 80 odd, and like I would have said probably God of War 2018 is probably 80 odds as well. Like it's a good game, really good game, but it doesn't do anything new particularly. It's fun. Like there are some tough boss fights that you might struggle with, but there was some that were really annoying. Like really annoying, where they would do some like stupid bullshit move that's like unblockable or whatever, and you're like, cool, I just didn't roll away quickly in time, or like the timing needs to be very slightly different on that, and like, but it always felt like bullshit instead of being like my mistake. Like I never felt like when I felt frustrated, like because I felt very frustrated in Elden Ring fights when I'm in the fight, right? But when I died, I'm like, fair enough. Basically every time, unless there was a glitch, I was like, okay, fair enough. But then, see, when you eventually beat those bosses, you get a fucking rush feeling where you're like, fucking yes, I beat it. Like in this game, when you beat the boss, it's like, right, cool, I've managed to move the story on. Like you, whatever item you pick up of that is not really any use to you, and like the experience is like, yeah, cool, I got some more experience, but like I got the same amount of experience of beating that boss as I did for just walking up that hill over there like 20 minutes ago. Because I completed the quest of walking up the hill, you know, like it didn't feel special when you beat the boss. I'm like, yep, cool. But yeah, like I did like it, but it wasn't amazing. So that now that I finished that marks my 23rd game finished of the year. So I need to complete one more game. And I dabbled because I went. I've got 19 days. So like when I'd finished God of War, it was like yesterday. So I'm like, I've got 19 days. Can I beat Demon Souls in 19 days? And then I decided that I couldn't. I was like,
So
there's no way. Time wise,
you
it
listen.
says no, but I looked on how long to beat.
You couldn't.
24 hours. It says.
You couldn't. There are
I
people that can.
Yes.
Because the other night I told you you could easily finish The Witcher 3 in that time. Easily. It's not as difficult as Dark Souls and such like. But you said I couldn't, and now you're telling me you considered Dark Souls in that time frame. You're a maniac. You know you're a maniac.
Souls. Demon
Exactly.
Souls.
And it's one of the hardest Soulsborne games there is.
Consider that decided not to do it, and I'm going to play something else that's shorter.
Tiny
To
can
finish
hopefully.
off.
I think you'll enjoy that.
I've got Tinykin downloaded, so I might try it.
Give it a shot. I thought it was really good. It's kind of like a Pikmin like kind of game. It felt very Nintendo-y, kind of Rick and Morty style like looks. I wouldn't say it was Rick and Morty humor because it's not. But I mean, 3-4 hours you could finish that game easily. You don't have much time.
Oh, but I've got like
You,
18
Andy
I've got 18
Urquhart,
days.
normal gamers could finish 2 or 3. Andy, no. Even it doesn't necessarily mean that he's bad at all games, but it means that he gets distracted the minute he plays a game because he just looks at stupid stuff. Like he never finishes a game 100%, but he's the sort of guy that should because of where he explores to in games. Oh, I managed to fall through the third dungeon in the corner because I went above the cage. Why were you above the cage, Andy? Oh, because it looked cool up there. I seen the water effect down the.
I mean, I've finished 23 games this year, including some big ones and some old ones like way off the backlog that I've been meaning to beat for years. So I think I've done okay. But yeah, I'm gonna just finish off with a short game. Not necessarily an easy game, but like something that's gonna take me like a couple of days to beat.
So we've got 2 more shows this year, and one of them might get missed because of holidays and such like, depending on what's happening. The 27th. So like next week could be our last show before our first show of the new year on the 3rd. So you want to see what the challenges are at as a special early Christmas treat, Andy, for next year?
Go on. I haven't played anything else, so.
So, what can you just give people listening a rundown of what we've done in the last few years?
So we started off 2 years ago. We started doing gaming challenges. So 2 years ago, we decided we would beat one game a month, and we would try and beat 2 Souls games as part of that to prove our gamer creds. And I beat 1 Soulsborne game, and you didn't beat any. I couldn't beat 2. I did try, but I couldn't. And we both found that we way surpassed 12 games over the course of the year. We were way past that. We were like up 20 odd.
20s.
Yeah, up in the 20s. So we decided that for the next year, so for this year, we would do 24 games. So 2 games a month, basically. Game every 2 weeks. And you're way past that already, and I'm pretty much there. I need 1 more game and then that's it. So I've got 18 days to beat 1 game, no problem. And we still had the Soulsborne challenge for beating 2 Soulsborne games at some point during the year. One of which we both assumed would be Elden Ring, because we thought it was going to be co-op and we could play through it together and do it no issue. But the co-op doesn't work as we expected it would in Elden Ring at all. It's a completely different style of co-op than what we expected, so we didn't play that in co-op. I did beat it, but I'm absolutely not going to be able to finish another Soulsborne game by the end of the year, and nor would I want to, because I put 180 hours into Elden Ring. That's enough Soulsborne for
and
this
Elden
year.
Ring's meant to be an okay entry point, like a not too difficult one compared to like some of the Dark Souls and Demon Souls. So there's no way you could jump in Demon Souls and finish it in 19 days. I couldn't do it.
No, if I was off work or something, I could probably do it, but
I don't think you could. I'm not doubting you. I just don't think you could in 19 days. I think if you took 2 weeks off, you couldn't finish Demon Souls in 2 weeks.
I was going to say challenge accepted, but I can't take 2 weeks off, and not at this time of year.
I don't mean this time of year. I mean in general, I don't think you could.
I mean, would I take 2 weeks off just to beat Demon Souls? No.
Yeah, because you're bad for trying to prove a point. You don't go abroad, so.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
That would be.
But anyway, I don't like these games, and it's not just the challenge. The reason I wanted co-op was to make it more enjoyable for me, like playing through a game with you, because then I wouldn't care what setting it was. I would have just played through the game. But it didn't work, and I wasn't enjoying it enough myself. And then
there is a lot of grindy stuff in these games. Like you do have to grind and grind. So
I also don't have patience. So see if a boss beats me a couple of times and I know how to do it and I can't do it again, I'm like, no, I'm not going to fight it. That didn't happen to me in this game. This game didn't beat me. I just didn't like the settings. I was just like, I'm not interested. Because I was way ahead of you at one point, remember? And I was like, have you been here? Have you been here? And you're like, hold on a minute, have you fucking beat Margaret? And you get so annoyed at that point because you couldn't believe that I'd beat him. I'm like, I've fucking beat him. I just beat him then. And you're like, no, you didn't. Then you took so long to do it, you were getting more and more annoyed. And then you eventually beat him, but I was like, I didn't find it hard. And you're like, bullshit. And I was like, I did. And
Margaret took me over 120 attempts.
Took you a lot. It took you a lot to beat. But it's not saying that I'm better than you. I just managed to beat that boss quicker and better than you. And like, I just didn't like the game. I don't know. It's brown. It's a fucking brown ass game, browner than Skyrim. And I'm like, there's not even bits of humour I'll go and speak to this funny guy. It's a depressing ass world.
I mean, there's some cool, nice bits in it, like where there's like a giant pop guy that is like your mate, and he becomes
I've seen him. I've met him.
Warrior. Like he's cool, but he's not like funny.
Yeah, but I need something like that. Like even Skyrim, it's serious, but it's got sometimes funny quests, like Skyrim, the Hangover quest and stuff like that. You have to go and find the sheep and stuff. And like, but in this, there's nothing like that. It's deadly serious. It's deadly brown. It's deadly grey, and it's like, I don't want to say soulless, but
there's no the story in it is like the story in it is what you make of it. Yeah, I mean, it's your adventure. Like
I don't want that. I don't want my adventure. Otherwise, I would write books. I want you to tell me a fucking story and me to enjoy it. I didn't watch 24 and then have Jack Bauer just standing there, and it's like, why are you not doing anything? It's like, you have to tell me what to do. It's like, I don't know what you do. Some cool shit. Go interrogate someone, Jack. Like I don't know. Like honestly, I could probably write a story if I thought about it, right? But that's not the point. I didn't buy a fucking 60, 70 quid game for them to go, ooh, what do you think the story means? I don't know. Is there a dragon? Like, I don't know.
There is a dragon. Anyway, there's many dragons in the game. You didn't fight any of them.
But I told you how to beat one, and you went, "Oh, great!" And you cheesed a bit of it to get like.
That dragon. Remember? Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
So I did help you out with that.
Yeah.
That's because, obviously, as you know, King of PlayStation helps his loyal subjects. Anyway, talking of PlayStation, so Andy, we decided to spice it up. We're getting rid of the Soulsborne challenge.
Yeah.
Andy might still play them because he likes them, but I'm done. I even tried Sekiro. I bought Sekiro, and I'm like,
I really didn't like Sekiro. Like
thoroughly.
Sekiro's,
I preferred the setting slightly, but then I'm like, the Ghost of Tsushima looks better and the story's
yeah,
better.
yeah,
Like, this is a samurai game with no story. It's like,
yeah.
what? Right. So anyway, we're getting rid of that, but we put a number, Andy. You threw a number out there. What was your number?
It's the number. The number is 42. That is always the number it should be. And the reason for that is that, like I know there's a lot of people that do like a 52 game challenge, like so beat one game a week basically. I was like, well, that seems like quite a lot, but like, why would we not just do 42? 42 is our number. Like that's what we would do. 42 games. So like 24 games is no problem. I'm not gonna have Elden Ring next year, like taking up like 3 months of my gaming, like 100%. That's all I played for 3 months. So I think I can beat 42 games. It'll be much more challenging than beating the 24. Like, because this year I had Elden Ring. Like I could have beat 15 more games easily, maybe 20 more games if I didn't play Elden Ring for so long.
Next year's get Breath of the Wild 2.
That's fine. I probably finish that.
Final Fantasy year. And Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I mean,
and Jedi Survivor.
Well, Jedi Survivor. Jedi was easy. Final Fantasy 15 took me 3 years to beat, so that's fine. And Zelda was in fact, Final Fantasy 15 was 5 years to beat, and Zelda was about
3 years.
3 years, yeah, to beat it. I didn't beat them until lockdown came along, basically. Like,
unreal. So what we're doing is the 42 games. However, Andy, not just 42 games. We can't just do any random 42 games. We need order. The king of PlayStation needs order. So we'll start with what you suggested, and we're going to do some mini challenges within. So within the 42, these games also must be completed. And you're going to have to do a spreadsheet of some of this because my notes are all over.
Okay.
So the first challenge is Andy's PlayStation Classics Challenge. Sorry, is Ali, the king of PlayStation Classics Challenge. And what you have to beat is one Final Fantasy game, one Metal Gear Solid game, one Resident Evil game, one Tomb Raider game, and one Crash Bandicoot game.
Because it's a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, and I know these are multi-format, so it doesn't matter where you play them, because there's some Final Fantasy games I want to play that aren't on PlayStation. So, yeah. Like 13. The Metal Gear Solid 5 is the only Metal Gear Solid I've not beaten. Resident Evil 4, I haven't finished 4. Or 8, I didn't finish 8 yet. Tomb Raider, the new ones. And then Crash. Probably 4. Although I don't think I've finished 1 or 2 either. But yeah, so that's the way we're going to do it. So those have to be part of your 42 games. Yep. Right? Okay. So then I upped it, and I've got underneath that Nintendo Classics. So then you've got to beat, Andy, a Mario game.
Okay. 2D or 3D, or does it not matter?
Doesn't matter. Okay. A Zelda game.
Okay.
A Metroid game.
Okay.
Pokemon game.
Okay.
A Kirby game.
Jeez, okay.
And a Donkey Kong game.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the Nintendo Classics Challenge.
Yep.
Adding to that, I've got the Sega Classics Challenge, Andy.
Oh my god, right, okay.
So you have to beat a Sonic title.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A Golden Axe title.
Okay.
A Shinobi title.
Mm-hmm.
An Echo the Dolphin title.
Mm-hmm.
And a Yakuza title.
Echo the Dolphin title?
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
4. Hard. Echo Junior, Echo Tides of Time, and Echo 3D. Mm-hmm.
Hard games, those.
Yeah, well, they're not as hard as the Souls games anyway, and I'll play them. Next up.
So we're supposed to play games and beat games that we haven't beaten before. Have you got a game that you haven't beaten in all those franchises?
Yes.
Like, so Golden Axe is the
Golden Axe 2. Like, Golden Axe 3 I've never beat.
I've beat Golden Axe 1, I've beat Golden Axe 2, I've beat Golden Axe 3, I've beat Golden Axe Warrior. So I'd have to play like fucking Golden Axe, like the Duel or
Beast,
something like this.
Beast Rider on
Beast
PS3.
Rider. Is this? Is it? That's on Xbox 360 as well. I wonder if it's back
Yeah.
compatible. Okay, that one might be challenging.
Well,
Just
we can swap it about for
finding
another
out what
Sega
game it is.
title. We can figure it out for another Sega
Okay.
title because Shenmue floated in and out there before I changed it for Yakuza, so you could always
Shenmue's
change.
for-
Doesn't matter. These are the challenges. It's not going to just be play any games willy-nilly.
No, I think I
Next,
can find a Golden Axe game. I'd rather play Golden Axe on the fucking Xbox 360 than Shenmue, I think.
next up is your favourite. This is going to be your absolute favourite section. This is the Tom Clancy section, Andy.
Oh my god.
So you're going to have to beat a Splinter Cell game, a Ghost Recon game, a Rainbow Six game, and one of the Divisions.
That's a terrible challenge. I don't like this one.
It's not. We're not finished yet. Plus the Division we could co-op technically. Then we've got the Xbox Classics. This is the final one. So we've got Gears of War, Halo, Fable, and Crackdown in this list.
Okay. I haven't beaten
Yeah.
any of those apart from Halo 1 and like the Gears 1 to
You
4.
beat a lot of Gears. Yeah. Fable I didn't beat 3. Gears is difficult for me, but I haven't beat Tactics, which I don't want to play. And then Halo I didn't finish Infinite.
You
and
could play
Crackdown.
Gears Pop Funko game.
It's no longer available. I did play Gears Pop Funko. It's shut down. So that's Xbox Classics,
Jesus.
Tom Clancy Classics, Sega Classics,
And that makes about 30 games. We're not playing any new games next year.
No, it doesn't. It's 25 games.
25 games. Yeah.
Are from these. And to be honest, Final Fantasy 16's out next year, so you're going to be playing that anyway. Tears of the Kingdom's out next year, so you're going to be playing that anyway. Yeah, well, you'll get through it. You'll get there.
I kind of want to play that Zelda game that's on the Switch though. The what's called Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
That, yeah.
Link's Awakening is one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. I just didn't like the chibi look.
Yeah, I never finished on the Game Boy, so.
I finished on the Game Boy and then the DX version with the 2 bonus dungeons. Awesome game. Awesome. So yeah, that's our challenges to be included within the 42 games. Obviously, they can be swapped. If you think you've finished every Golden Axe title possible, that can be swapped out. But Shinobi, I don't think I finished any Shinobi game. Echo, I think I finished the second one, so I can play the first. Like the majority of these games you can get in the Mega Drive Classics, or you'll have them in the house somewhere.
Yeah, probably not most of them already.
Yep. And Game Pass and stuff has got most of the Tom Clancy games there for you. Xbox Classics, the exact same thing. Nintendo Classics, even if you don't want to buy any new ones, you've got all the Nintendo subscription stuff. And the PlayStation Classics, the same thing. So we've got access to all these games here, Andy. So yeah, that's 25 games as a challenge. And yeah.
Oh my god. Some of these are going to be hard.
Like what? Metal Gear, yeah, because I don't like Metal Gear 5, and that's the only one I've not finished.
Like, I mean, finding what Metal
Splinter Cell's the one that's going to kill. Splinter Cell's going to kill you.
Like, what's the newest Splinter Cell game that's
Blacklist's
available?
probably the best one for you because it gives you the option if you're seeing that you can go action mode and try and shoot through it. But even then, I think it's going to suck for you. Ghost Recon, I'm kind of playing through them anyway. They're great. Those games are great.
Does it have? You've just put that in so that I'll fucking play these games with you. that's all it is.
Well, the Division we'll probably play together because I bought the Division 2
yeah,
for both of us.
We have the Division 2, yeah.
We should play through it. Rainbow Six is going to have to be an old game though, because the new one isn't a story game.
No, it's not. The newest one has a campaign, Extraction,
but it's not. It doesn't count. It's written off the list. It's an abomination of the Tom Clancy license. But Splinter Cell is the one that I want. I just can't wait till you get Splinter Cell in your customer because I'm not even worried about you finishing Metal Gear because I think you could do that. But Splinter Cell, where it was proper stealth, see if you could finish the first one. Here's a deal, right? Here's a deal for your Tom Clancy games I'll make with you right now. If you can finish the original Splinter Cell, you don't have to play any other Tom Clancy game.
The original Splinter Cell's fucking terrible, though. It's a terrible game.
It's not terrible. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Sorry. I take it back. I've never played it, actually. I'm thinking the Siphon Filter. That was a terrible game.
Siphon Filter was a terrible game. Splinter Cell 1, yes, it's got older controls, right? But it's solid because this is a case of you can't be seen, Fisher, and you can't be seen. It's not a case of I'll just take him out. No,
I
no.
don't.
What are you doing?
I would rather play all the other games than not play that.
I love it. I think it's great.
I played Blacklist. Like
I think
from
you'll
what you
like
said,
Blacklist because
yeah, from
it's
what you
kind of
said,
24ish.
it sounds kind of fun.
Because they've got in that the ghost option where don't be seen. But if you fail the ghost objectives, then it's like Panther or I can't remember the other, but it's like you can just run in. You can't fully
Does
go
it
guns
have
blazing.
difficulty levels in it?
I'd imagine so.
Cool,
I
easy
never
mode
looked at it.
unlocked. Let's fucking go.
Hey, as long as you do it, you do it. But
Yeah.
like I was just playing them because I've been enjoying Ghost Recon because you probably up until the accident I was storming my way through Ghost Recon, really enjoying them, and I think you would enjoy them as well. But
Yeah, I think they're all on Game Pass or PlayStation,
yeah,
like Plus. I'm sure.
Wildlands is on Game Pass, and
Breakpoint's definitely on Plus.
Breakpoint's on Plus. But Breakpoint, I've nearly finished it though, so there's no much point. But like, I could invite you and you can play the full game with me. So you could technically do that with Nelson and Mark if they team up with you, because all it would take for you is one of you to have the game and invite the others,
Maybe.
and then they can join you. But yes, so that's the challenge anyway. Sonic, there's a few of them I haven't finished. Golden Axe, I'm not playing the RPG one because it doesn't count, but like 2 or 3, I don't think I've finished them. Don't even think I've tried 3. Shinobi,
I would happily count the RPG one if you wanted to play that because it's fucking great.
no, I'll just play the beat 'em up ones because I like it. And I'm not adding another RPG into a year when I've got fucking Tears of the Kingdom and Final Fantasy 16, Andy. But here's my thing. I don't want your Final Fantasy game to be Final Fantasy 16. It can't be for your PlayStation Classics.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 8.
Yeah, that's what this is designed more for games you haven't played that you should have played. And Tom Clancy was just more of a I love Tom Clancy. I think you're going to enjoy it, and it's given us the Division 2 to play through together. So that's us get 2 co-op games this year.
Yeah.
Was play Suicide Squad and Division 2 because I was looking at it and I fired up the Division 1 the other night. No one's playing it anymore, and I'm like, it doesn't handle well. And then I downloaded the Division 2 and I moved about, and I'm like, why didn't we play this? Me and Andy played it the night it came out. We didn't absolutely hate it. And then Fraser asked us every night after that, and we were like, nah.
Yeah, we couldn't be bothered. That there must have been something else out at the time.
There
That we
was
were,
probably
more
something
excited
else.
about. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
So yeah, like with Rainbow Six, I'm not sure. Probably one of the Vegas games because they're the most recent ones with story.
Dreamcast game, like
Yeah, probably. Yakuza, obviously, that's to inspire us to get through one of the Yakuza games. Obviously, Yakuza 0 for me.
oh yeah, well, Yakuza 0, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna play that.
Xbox sucks for me because there's only one Fable game I haven't beat, and with Gears, there's only one Gears game I haven't beat, and with Halo, there's 2 Halo games, Infinite Wars. I've beat all the rest, so that's kind of a sucky one for me. And Crackdown is fine, but it's staying in. So Tom Clancy's staying in, Gears, the Xbox One's staying in, like, and technically you'll help because no doubt I'll probably play through the Gears one with you because it's Gears 5 we're on anyway. So there's three multiplayer games we've got this year. Are you annoyed with these challenges, Andy?
I mean, the Tom Clancy one is pretty long. I think. Like, how long is it? How long is it to beat like those games?
Depends what game you're playing. For you, for Splinter Cell, it could be a while, but and it's not because Andy's bad at gaming. It's because I've got no patience, but Andy hates stealth.
I do hate stealth. We'll Ghost Recon Wildlands. Like, how long to beat says it's 26 hours.
20
So
hours,
that might take me 30, 35 maybe.
40. Trust me,
Yeah,
it's
say
a
40.
big open game.
What about Breakpoint? Breakpoint's bigger than it.
I would. I don't know. I'm nearly finished.
Breakpoint 23.5 hours. Maybe it's shorter. Maybe I'll play that one.
It's good. It's the sequel to the Wildlands. It looks a lot nicer though, and the bad guy is John Bernthal, who's really cool.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
You don't need to have played like Wildlands to play Breakpoint or anything like that.
Yeah, Division 2, it says 26.5 hours. Okay. How long is Division 1? 24 hours. Yeah, so just play the Division 2. Okay. What about? I don't know.
Blacklist.
Splinter Cell Blacklist, right?
Do you know what game you would?
Shorter.
Blacklist's a better game, right?
11 hours. Okay, so that maybe take me 15.
Do you know what game you would love that you could pick up at work cheap now? That's the least stealth of all the Splinter Cell. Conviction. It was an Xbox 360 exclusive.
game, yeah, I've seen it before, yeah.
Fantastic, and it's more. It does have some stealth, but it's not total stay in the shadows because Sam's been like it's like Jack Bauer, like
Oh,
he's like
that
looks like he's been framed.
game says it's 7.5 hours. Okay.
Honestly, that's the one I would recommend for you. I would like to see you play Blacklist because it's got stealth. Whereas this is he's off the books, he's been framed, and he's got to kind of like do things rough and ready. Conviction's good.
I might even own this one already, like from Game Pass, or maybe not from Game Pass, but from like
Games of Gold.
Something at some point, yeah.
I'm sure it was Games of Gold.
Yeah, it rings a bell to me, that one. So,
most of them have been, but yeah. So there is options there. Ghost Recon, you've got older Ghost Recon games as well that work. Future Soldier, Advanced Warfighter.
I'd rather play one of those ones. For those ones.
Rainbow Six, though.
Yeah, Rainbow Six, right? Like, did Rainbow Six come to the Saturn?
It was on the PlayStation. Rainbow Six. It was on. I don't know if it came to the Saturn. I bought the original on the PlayStation 1 on September 9/11. That day it was happening. It was on the video in Blockbuster. I was buying Rainbow. I bought Rainbow Six. I thought the guys were watching a movie.
Yeah, Rainbow Six. I don't know what one to go for that then.
Well, there's 360 ones on the Xbox.
Oh yeah, okay. Rainbow Six.
Vegas 2.
Vegas 2. Yeah. Are those single player campaigns in them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one that didn't is the new one. See that Rainbow Six
Siege? Yeah. I like Siege.
Yeah. It's multiplayer. It's fun, but like it didn't have a campaign. That annoyed me.
I'm pretty sure I own Rainbow Six on PC, like the original one. Yeah.
That's a hard game though, and very annoying to control.
Is Rainbow Six okay for kids? Probably not.
No. Do you know what though? Like I said, you can skip all your Tom Clancy if you finish Splinter Cell 1, the original.
Yeah, probably not going to do that. It's either on Game Pass or I own it though, so I could try it, I suppose.
I think the controls annoy you, but also the mission parameters. What are you doing, Fisher?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that would annoy you. But I think you enjoy Conviction, and I think you would enjoy Blacklist as well. But like Conviction's a lot like 24 because he's not in his full like goggles mask. He's got his goggles, but he's more in like a green army top and just like civilian style clothes. And
yeah,
I might replay it again, but I have. Here's the thing: I never played Splinter Cell 2 or 3. I don't know if I beat Double Agent either. I definitely had played a lot of Double Agent, but see 2 and 3, I never had them. Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory. And everyone says Chaos Theory is the best one, but I never played them, so I've got an option of Splinter Cell to play as well. Because I beat the original. I beat Conviction, I beat Blacklist. I'm almost sure I beat Double Agent, but I can't remember.
Okay. Yeah, this is doable, I think, yeah.
It's definitely doable because these aren't games that you absolutely loathe. Splinter Cell's obviously annoying, but like for the rest of them,
yeah. Golden Axe. Yeah, it's going to need to be Beast Rider.
What can you play it on? Hopefully it's back, Pat.
I mean, I've seen it somewhere. What did this come out on?
PS3. It's the only thing I can remember it on.
Beast Rider marks the final entry in the series up to this point. I'm sure that this came to the Xbox 360. Yeah, it came to Xbox 360.
Back compat.
I wonder if it is back compat.
I would say I doubt it, but a lot of Sega's games are.
Is Golden Axe Beast Rider backwards compatible? No. Don't believe so.
So we might need to change Golden Axe for you for something. You can even throw it in Rystar or something.
I mean, I might be able to find that on. Like, I've got PC. Like, I could buy this on PC for probably a pound.
Running your PC?
This is an old fucking game. It'll run. It's not even on PC. Fucking hell. Okay.
We can work that one out, though.
I'll work something out. It's fine.
Anyway, we'll finish the show there. We'll definitely. I think we'll probably have a show next week, but it's starting to come into tiring times for Andy. But I think we can definitely say that we'll take our break on the 27th because I'm sure I'm not going to be at home that day anyway, because our Christmas is all over the place because Tasha's working like right through. So we might be at our mum's that night because our Christmas for the kids is next Friday on the 23rd because she's working Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then. Like we're going to my mum's on Christmas Day, me and the kids, and then we're going to her mum's on like the 27th. So yeah, so next week we'll be back for a show on the 20th, with me, Ali, King of PlayStation, and Andy, Sonic Denier, as you can see here. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. We will be going over how we did in our challenge, and we will have our show of the year. I think on the 3rd of January. That's the first Tuesday in January.
Yep, 3rd of January.
So that'll be our show of the year, which is my favourite show, which is where we have merriness and we give awards out of our own. We don't deny Sonic on this show, what Andy does. And we'll also go over our challenge, if Andy's going to manage to finish his last game on it, because he's not got long, even though he thinks he does.
Tons of time.
You
Not
will
worried. Not worried. I will do it, though.
Anyway, but thank you very much for tuning in and watching, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Excuse me.